Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Live Trading Room's daily Forex analysis. Today is Monday, February the 5th, and it's 11 in the morning. Let's see how the Forex market is performing through the index grid of our best and worst dashboard. We have a New Zealand dollar in first position, gaining 1.55% on its currency basket, followed by the Australian dollar, ahead by 1.17%. The yen is gaining 0.70%. And then we have the Canadian dollar just below parity, losing 0.05%. The Swiss franc is down by 0.13%. The euro is losing 0.86%. The British pound is down by 1.01%. And the US dollar comes last, losing 1.35%. The power strength gives us the New Zealand dollar 100% long and the US dollar 100% short. We have high percentages on the British pound and the Australian dollar also, respectively 85% short and 85% long. The best trades so far in the Forex market are Kiwi US dollar ahead by 0.38% and Aussie US dollar gaining 0.33%. Now let's go to the charts to analyze the majors. Aussie US dollar is moving in a bullish tendency after a small gap down at the opening of the market. Now the market is trading above target number 1 of the bullish zone of the target geometry at 0.7940. We have a confluent price action up to the multi-day level and a percentage confluence up to the yearly level, with the exception of the monthly time frame, which is still losing 1.30%. With an RSI above 50 on every time frame except H4, a monthly and daily statistical forecasts in favor of a possible continuation to the upside. So with an 85% long Australian dollar against 100% short US dollar, we may have a continuation of the bullish move. The euro dollar is moving in a bullish tendency after a gap down at the opening of the market. Now the market is trading just below target number 2 of the bullish zone of the target geometry at 124.75. We're above all the moving averages of the EMA dashboard. We have a confluent price action and a percentage confluence up to the yearly level. We have an RSI above 50 on every time frame and a confluent delta single volume. So with a 57% short euro against a confluent US dollar, we may have a continuation to the upside if the market remains above the entry level of the bullish zone at 124.49. The cable is also moving in a slight bullish tendency, just at the entry level of the bullish zone of the target geometry at 141.28. The market is above all the moving averages of the EMA dashboard except the weekly. We have a bullish price action at an intraday level, and the percentage gain is 0.05% so far. We have a percentage confluence up to the yearly level, with the exception of the monthly time frame, which is still losing 0.46%. Both the US dollar and the British pound are very weak on their respective currency baskets today, so we can expect a limited daily range. Should the market close again above 141.28, we may have a moderate continuation to the upside. Of course, below the daily opening, which is change attitude, and we would look for the entry level of the bearish zone at 140.76. Kiwi US dollar is moving in a bullish tendency, now correcting down after a daily high marked at 0.7330. In fact, we have a bearish price action at a scalping and intraday level with a breakout of the previous lows from M5 to M30. The pair is gaining 0.27% on a daily basis, and we have a percentage confluence up to the yearly level, with the exception of the monthly time frame, which is still losing 0.55%. Should the market remain above 0.7298 with a 71% long New Zealand dollar against a confluent US dollar, we may have a continuation to the upside in direction of the monthly opening at 0.7356. US dollar Canada is moving in a slight bearish tendency after the false breakout of the previous daily high. Now we're just above the entry level of the bearish zone of the target geometry at 124.09, with the market correcting up from the intraday low marked at 123.96. In fact, we have a bullish price action at a scalping and intraday level. The market is still losing 0.09% on a daily basis, and we have a bearish percentage confluence up to the yearly level, with the exception of the monthly time frame, which is still gaining 0.82%. At this moment, we have an RSI above 50 up to the H4 time frame. Both currencies are very weak on their respective baskets today. We have an 85% short Canadian dollar against a confluent US dollar, so we can expect a very limited daily range. Should the market close below target number 1 of the bearish zone of the target geometry at 123.93, we may have a moderate continuation to the downside. US dollar Swiss franc is moving in a slight bearish tendency just below the monthly opening at 0.9307. We're below target number 1 of the bearish zone of the target geometry at 0.9302. The market is trading below all the moving averages of the EMA dashboard with a confluent price action and a bearish percentage confluence up to the yearly level. The RSI is below 50 on every time frame except M5, and we have a confluent delta single volume. So with a 71% long Swiss franc against a confluent US dollar, we may have a continuation to the downside. Let's close the analysis with US dollar yen, which is moving in a bearish tendency just above target number 2 of the bearish zone of the target geometry at 109.73. The market is below all the moving averages of the EMA dashboard except for the weekly, and we have a bearish price action at an intraday and multi-day level. We have a bearish percentage confluence up to the yearly level with the exception of the monthly time frame, which is still gaining 0.59%. And right now we have an RSI below 50 on every time frame except H4. So with a 57% long yen against a confluent US dollar, we may have a continuation of the bearish move. That's all for today's analysis. Thank you for your attention. Good day and good trading from Live Trading Room Trading Community.